Hello, everyone. I'm Bree, and this is Musical Artist A Conversation. On today's episode, we have Aftertaste joining us. Woo.
Welcome to the limelight.
Aftertaste is a singer songwriter from the Chicago area. He has a combination of indie and alternative with a little R&B sprinkled in as well. Today, we'll be talking about his debut album, Malibu, that is currently on all streaming platforms. And if you're interested, he's also selling physical copies. Welcome to the podcast, Aftertaste. The first question I wanted to ask you was, what's the story behind naming the album Malibu?
So my car is a Malibu. I got it right after graduating from high school, and that's pretty much where like the whole story of the album starts. It's not the most like concise concept album, but it's literally just about how my time was since starting starting college or after the summer and everything. Because I had to come out to Idaho, and it's just a huge difference. Um, yeah, just completely like culture shock and stuff. But yeah, I love my car even though it's a pretty lame car, and I just wanted that to be like the main focus of the album. So I brought in like a lot of car concepts too, or I tried to with like lyrics and stuff.
And is your license plate actually I'm
Yeah,
Eric? Or
yeah.
that's
In
awesome.
Illinois that costs like 120. Um,
Is that what you paid for it?
yeah, and it's like another extra like 20 a year, something 15 a year. And like in Idaho here, it's like $20, like straight up. That's it. Like I
So you
wish,
got scammed.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I love the Illinois plate. It's so like iconic to me, so I prefer it.
I like that. I like the little story behind it. That's pretty cool. So sorry you got scammed though. That's that's so unfortunate.
No, that's just life. It's cool though. It's pretty.
So the main theme in your album and just in your music period, it seems to be like a theme of love and like the feeling of being in love with the person. Do you just like love songs, or were you inspired by something or someone?
Um, so overall, when it came to writing music, I when I first started making music, I had a girlfriend, and then like during my first project I was making before the album, we broke up, and that led into like a more sadder project, and then I started working on Malibu. So it was just kind of this whole like, I guess, a feeling I miss, but also just wanting something in the future and being prepared for it, I guess. So like, I love romantic stuff. Everything like, I'm a hopeless romantic. All that stuff where you just love the idea of everything, but like
Mhm.
never get to experience it. Well, that sounds sad,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. Um,
No, I get you. I get you.
and that's why I spent most of the time writing about that kind of stuff. But I'm kind of trying to go away from that in my new music because it kind of got repetitive to me. But it is, I don't know, romantic music is just 90% of music is just romantic, and it's about feelings, and it's really easy to just fall into that, and it's hard to not like that music. So yeah.
Yeah. And for the album, there's five, six, seven, 8 songs, I believe.
I think nine. I honestly
9,
forgot. I have a CD. Yeah, it's nine. It's
9 songs. And I think like the first 3 songs, they're in all caps. And then the last five, or they're all in lowercase.
Yeah,
So the
first four is all
four,
caps, and then the last four are all lowercase, but the middle is just like normal capitalization.
what was the process behind that?
Well, one, I just love like text ID, just trying to be like not unique because everyone does like all caps, lowercase, but like I wanted to differentiate it throughout it by like the genre that it was representing. So the first four songs were
Okay.
more like upbeat, happy. That's why it was all like.
Okay.
Uh,
I thought I was just hearing that. I wasn't sure. I really want to ask that question, but I wasn't sure. I was like, I could hear it, but I really wasn't
I
sure.
appreciate. I never like pointed it out in any way. So like, I appreciate that. And then the middle one is just normal caps, and that's like the most, I guess, tame. It's kind of like chill, but there's like upbeat to it or expectations. And then the last part is like all I don't know how to say it. I guess just chill like R&B, like just soothing vibes. That was like type of like literally the song Pleasure. When we were working on it, my idea was like just something in the same vibe as like Passion Fruit by Drake, like just
Yeah.
the same like late night like winter drive or something where you're just listening to music and that's all that you're there for. It's just nice. Like that's what the point was. But yeah,
I liked the transition. I think the first four, they're very, like you said, they're very upbeat. And then Malibu, I feel like Malibu's kind of like a mix. So I think it's a good transition from the first four to the last four.
thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed the album a lot. It was really good. I liked the transition from the not the two genres because it's all the same genre, but the vibe of the two. And then I wanted to know what your favorite songs off the album were, and which ones did you enjoy making?
So when it comes to the whole album, me and my friend Matthew, it was mainly his production, but there's the one song that I fully made myself was Malibu. And I actually did that on a Discord call with my friend Julio. And it was super random because we were just waiting for Matthew to hop on so we could play a game or something. So that's my favorite when it comes to like how much I put into it because I usually never produce and I've been into it. I just suck at it compared to Matthew. Um, but overall, I'd say it's probably Forever. It's a super basic song, but the point of it was like I'm learning to love myself, and it's just a super pleasing song. One of my friends, Luna, he says it's like my friend Matthew's best production. It's like it's really not, but it's just that soothing. It's just that nice. And then the random collab with my friend Sam Star. He's from DC area, and I don't point it out anywhere online, but on the CD, where does I lost it? Additional vocals. Lily is my friend from it's she's my friend from home. We've been friends for like 8 years, and she was out here at college, so I like asked her to help out with the song, and it was pretty cool. Um, I forgot what the question was, so I just started talking.
It's no. I You can ramble. It was like what are your favorite songs and like which ones did you enjoy making?
Oh, okay, enjoy making overall. I loved the first song with Ugly Nate. Um, Honestly, like that song came by really quickly, and I wasn't even friends with Nate yet. I just knew Matthew was friends with him, and he was like, would he be down if like I hit him up? Would he if he like hopped on the song? Like, how do you feel about that? I'm like, sure, I get it. Like that'd be super cool. And then we became friends after, and it was just a super cool experience. Baby Blue, Baby Blue is
Ooh,
my favorite to make, and is actually like a fan favorite among my friends.
I really like Baby Blue. Baby Blue and One Day are my favorites.
Thank you. I love One Day. So my Matthew, he randomly sent me, Calvin, and Julio. We were like kind of a group at the time. He sent us the beat for Baby Blue, but it was like very like basic, and everyone like nobody really paid attention to that email. But I was like, this is amazing. So I started like I literally freestyled to it for like 30 minutes, and what I pulled from that was literally like half of the lyrics from that song are like freestyle lyrics, and I just re-recorded them. Um, and I recorded all of them out here with my own like crappy mic, and it came out really good. Um, so that was like probably the best experience because it was actually a lot of me working my own like comping myself instead of just waiting for Matthew to press record and stuff. Um, Such a good song.
Do you want to get more into like making your own things where you produce your own stuff and you do you want to do that or
Dude, like I would love to. I've been trying to, but I don't put enough time and like money into it because I have the stuff to produce, but I need more sounds and stuff, plugins. So overall, like I've made stuff and it's not terrible, but it could be so much better, especially with Matthews like showing me his beats. I'm like, yeah, I'll just stick to your production because we just been working together since like 2019, and it's like it's been the best experience. Yeah.
on your singles and as well as your album, you have a couple of collaborations. And prior to the interview, you talked about how these artists, like these are artists that you've become friends with. Um, how has having that type of community affected you as an artist, and how has it like made you better, or you know?
I think the best outcome of this community that I've kind of become a part of is the making of the music video for my last song. Because I didn't know anybody in like Columbia or UIC until my friend went there, and then like I just like shoved myself into that friend group, and like we all it just became really like chill. Um, so meeting Julian, the director, and all that was a huge jump. Um, and then that just gave me more confidence to want to make more stuff, and that's why I dropped more songs like that, like singles. And before that, the only community was like me, Julio, and Matt. Julio is June V. He's on Lovers Lane, and like I forgot what else. He's in the background of Besides You actually, but it just used to be us, and we would always hang out, make music, and it was a really chill thing until it started becoming more like this is something we want to do, something we want to put time into, and like learn skills. And we've made a lot of progress. Like I have songs on YouTube of my original like first few songs, and they're really trash. There's two really good ones, but the first three are like I wish I want to take them down, but I really like hearing them like every once in a while. So
I feel like you can hear your growth because I also listened to like the stuff you had on your SoundCloud and then
oh
your
yikes.
singles and your album. And
Thank
I
you.
mean, you can really hear your growth throughout throughout all of it. And it sounds really good, honestly. How did you know that you wanted to be like an artist? Like, how did you said that you were making things with your friends and then you kind of realized?
I'm gonna be honest. I've kind of always wanted to get into some kind of art. I love expression. I love like creativity. But growing up, my family has nothing to do with music. They used to sing as kids or something, but like they're nothing instrumental or anything. My mom tried to get me into band, and I tried it, and I was terrible. But besides that, um, I liked art, but I wasn't. I had good ideas, but I sucked at putting it down. I loved writing, and I'm still pretty good at writing. That's why I got into writing music. Um, but there's not a lot of options besides like journalism and stuff, and I'm not a fan of that. So honestly, so when I first started dating my girlfriend at the whole phase of making music, I made a little song with my ukulele called "Last Wednesday," and it's just kind of saying like we're just stupid kids and you know it, but I love you and all this stuff. And we like literally just started dating, so I was kind of crazy for that. But and in my friend group, I had Matthew, and we weren't even that close. We just knew of each other. We hung out sometimes, and that was around the same time that he started producing, where he had like just stepped into producing. He just got FL Studio, and he said like, "Yo, like I just got into this. We should start like working on stuff together. Like that'd be cool." And I was like, "Okay." Like I after that, I don't remember anything besides us immediately becoming best friends, immediately hanging out like every week, 2 times a week, just making music. Um, and it all started with just him, his laptop, and like a binder that held it up in his little the corner of his room. And it was honestly like looking back, it's the best thing ever. Without that, I wouldn't have made music at all because I just never had that like push. So I like thank Matthew for like everything, honestly.
How was recording the first song you ever made? Like, how was that experience for you?
Actually, so my first song was Same. It was like this super auto tuned, just like kind of sad song. And the whole time recording that, I remember like messing up so many times. Honestly, I couldn't sing yet, so that's why I had so much autotune because we sent it to a dude named Suler, Derek's, I think Derek. I don't remember his last name, but he was at my high school. He actually gave me the ukulele, but um, like we sent it to him to master it, and he like put a ton of autotune. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I listened to the original. I'm like, actually, that was really valid. Um, so we put it up, and it was interesting. I asked my ex girlfriend to make the cover art, like she put the text and all that stuff, because I didn't know how to do any of that yet. Um, just overall, my first song that was super cool because all my friends were like, "Oh my gosh, let's play it out loud," and I hated it. It was just first songs are like hearing your own self, like singing is not it when you're not comfortable with it yet.
And did you like learn how to sing, or are you going to school for music or
So I pretty much self-taught myself it over time, just making more songs over and over, whether they're good or not. I just improved my singing. I don't know how. It just happened, and it worked out really well because I started singing in like a more falsetto way, and that's where my song Eccentric came from, which like everybody loved. It was crazy, and we used like a random Adventure Time sample, and it was so hard. Yeah, I don't know. I love just singing on my own. Just I used to sing at church, but it wasn't like a whole thing. It was just like a group thing. Um, and so I just over time got better, and I saw my friends getting better at producing, friends getting better at like rapping and singing, and I wanted to get better too. So overall, it was just an overtime thing. But there's this one time, me and my friends actually had a manager for a bit, um, and it just didn't work out because of creative differences and like super. It was just like outdated um, energy there. So we kind of dropped that. But he did try to get me into voice lessons, and I tried it once, and I learned like some practices and stuff. But it's mainly just like my voice is like almost always ready unless I have to do like crazy falsetto stuff. It immediately dies out. But um, it's just been a good experience learning on my own.
I know singing is like, I feel like people overlook singing because a lot of it's something that a lot of people can do. But I feel like singing is low key kind of hard. Like if you don't know, it's hard to train yourself to do it, especially if you're doing it on your own.
It's really yeah. It's just like pitch and note identification, like understanding how to make it not sound trash. And then like something for me, I love concerts. They're like the best thing ever. But everyone's just screaming the lyrics and I really want to sing it so I don't sound stupid. But then I'm not loud at all.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but it's just something I experienced lately. I just went to the Daniel Caesar concert this last month, and like singing singing is insane. I it's been a while since I've been in a room with somebody that's like shown really good singing, but that's because I haven't worked with music with anybody in a while. Um, but there's been times where people are just like damn, like you're really good. Like I don't want to compete, but I want to like get better so I can wow people like that because that's just impressive.
And I wanted to know, how did you know what genre you wanted to go into? Like you do a lot of indie alt kind of R&B ish type of music. Did you just make music for like the genre you liked to listen to, or was it like something that you knew what your voice?
It was kind of like that. Like when I started making music, it was the time where like Day Glow and Boy Pablo, they're like popping, and so I wanted to avoid bedroom because that's like everyone's kind of doing it, and it's amazing, but I don't want to be in that category as much. But I think everybody that makes their own music kind of is. So it's, if they're not big yet, um, and but when it came to like indie and rock and stuff, me and my friends had no idea how to produce yet or like play instruments, and so once we got to that point and like started trying to learn, that's when we like got out of this just like generic music into like its own genre. Because you can see it in like one day and stuff. Like the whole goal was for it to have like higher energy and be more exciting. And that it just like it came out so easily from Matthew. He's crazy. I don't know. There's just something about him. He just doesn't like hold back. The second he gets a good idea, he just like it's so good. But with yeah, that was with indie. But R&B overall, I've always loved just like soothing, chill music. That's why I just love like just any type of R&B or like old school like Usher and stuff. Like I want to make more music like Usher, but that's like really hard because it's just so specific. Um, and you have to like really get into the vibes, and you probably have to cheat on a girl. But um,
It's achievable. It's achievable.
and with R&B, it's just super like everyone can vibe to it, even if they don't listen to that kind of music. They definitely don't like listen to it later, but they're like, that was really good. Like me and my roommate Kenny, we performed actually a year ago almost, at a venue out here, and it was a battle of the bands thing, and everybody was doing like rock or country, and we sang like straight up R&B, and we did a Giveon cover, like I Want You, and everyone was like, "What is happening? Like, this is really good," but I was not ready for this. And obviously, we didn't win because there's like a huge band there that everybody loved.
Bands
But
always win.
it was just a super cool experience. It was a super cool experience, and I didn't expect that I could perform in front of that many people and not freak out. Um, it was just super soothing. I did Baby Blue up there too, and some of my friends were there, and it was the best.
And I know I know you play the guitar, and there's a lot of musical instruments incorporated within your music. Do you play any other instruments that you include into your music, or is it just guitar and then other people come in and play other instruments?
So I do play guitar, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very terrible. So most of it is Matthew, but he did get into he got a bass guitar like a year and a half ago or something. So we got into that, and for one of my future songs, I'm planning on using. I have a melodica, so it's kind of like
Oh yeah.
one of those accordion things you like breathe into it. I don't have the tube, but like it's one of like those things. Um, so we're incorporating that because I want to have more like. Do you know Dijon?
Yes.
I want to incorporate like the vibe that he had in Absolutely, his latest album, because it was
Hmm.
just a super like homey country, almost like soulful chill vibe, and I loved that. So I just wanted to add more like authenticity to it, and the melodica kind of does that. It's very interesting. I've only done it in one song so far, and it was mainly like a background vibe thing. It wasn't really instrumental, but it was cool. And the ukulele used to be a pretty like prime thing in my old music because that's like all we had. But uh, besides that, yeah, it's mainly plugins and digital stuff. So
That's pretty cool. I mean, you're experimenting with your sound for your upcoming music. You recently came out with like three singles. You had Beside You that had a music video. You had Juniper, and then you did a collab with Camp Collar called Sway. What were the inspirations behind them? Like, how was making those songs and recording them?
so the first one in order was Juniper, and that was fully inspiration from a situation I went through last summer. And the whole reason of the name is because I mean that's like a plant or some kind of like um, foliage thing, but I just like the word juniper. Every month I make a playlist, and that was my June playlist. And there's I don't know if I should get into detail, but there's this girl that I used to work with, and it was a great situation until the end. The whole idea was just like um, finding someone that's finally like that person that you like can understand, that you can be around with and not find yourself uncomfortable in any way. And one of the lyrics is like, "You look better in my hometown," and that's because like just being out here, it just feels like this is just like a watered down version of life. Because when you're in Chicago or in the area, there's just so much to do. Nothing can stop you from doing it, and there's just so many opportunities, so many people you can meet, and it's really diverse. I love diversity, and being out here is a little crazy. But that's what drove Juniper to it. And the beginning audio, I forgot about that. That's when I was home for the summer. It was just me and my friends. Like we were just laying down at a park, just chilling. It was so random, and it was like one of the last warm nights because it was starting to get cold out, and it was just super pretty. So I had to like record a little bit of it, and it sounds goofy because like half of us are laughing, but that was kind of the point. So it's like a more uplifting vibe. And after that was Besides You, which I made that when I was visiting home for Thanksgiving. Actually, it was really like a session or two. Um, that song, it was also about a situation, but I'm not gonna talk about that. And and overall, it that was one of the one songs where all the vocals I'm pretty sure are the first take. I don't ever want to do that again because that was scary, but like we didn't do anything different besides the second like or the bottom back half where it's like a whole different vibe. That took a few takes, but just the whole beginning, whole first half, it was just what came to mind, and half of the a little bit of that was freestyling. Like it just came to mind. It wasn't exactly like lyrical genius, but um, it was just the situation I was in, and it just a way I could express myself and saying like my favorite part of it is the two different ways of like being besides you and nobody else beside you.
Hmm.
Beside wait, I said that wrong, but whatever, you get it, I think.
Yeah, 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 I get it.
And I really wanted to incorporate that because I realized I was naming the song the wrong way, so I had to incorporate it the right way. But that song, I love that song. Making the music video, honestly, we didn't do as much as we wanted to. We had an idea for like a picnic date and all that stuff, Um,
Oh,
but it was
okay.
just schedules didn't work out that well, and it was super cold. Like that when we were on that garage rooftop, it was freezing. Like I had a jacket and stuff, so I was kind of good. But I don't know how Stephanie, the girl, she was like somehow going through it. Um, but it was a super awesome experience. His first time working like on a music video. Well, an official one. The other ones I made were like just random chilling out stuff. And Julio was there for that too. Actually, he was good support for that, and he made like a behind the scenes video. I want to post that at some point, but I haven't got to it. It's really fun. He loves editing videos. I need to promote his stuff more because his stuff is really cool. Besides, he's probably my favorite song I've made so far. There's a lot of good ones, but that one is just like it catches your ear. And then Sway. So Cam Collar, Matthew Agari, he's made a lot of songs lately. Like between the semesters, he got crazy and just made a ton of songs. And there's two. Actually, it was just one beat he showed me called "Breathe," and it's a very like flowing, like nonchalant. I don't know how to describe it, but it's very like it's a good song. I really wanted to get on it, so I asked him about it. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, dude. Like, just come by sometime." And he lives like 35 minutes away from me, but I still pulled up like 3 times. And when we were doing that song, he also showed me the sway beat, and it's like this super. What is it like? I forgot the word. Um,
I
it's
feel like Sway is kind of like not bossa nova, but
that
like
was about to say that.
bossa
Yeah,
nova. It's
like
kind of
that
like
kind of like
islandy.
islandy or like kind of like bar music almost, where it's
Yeah,
just like super swaying. I guess. Yeah, it's a super cute song. And when he showed me it, we had no lyrics to it at all. Um, but once he started recording, I realized I was writing a whole different vibe than him. Like he was just straight up like, "Oh, this like cute, lovely, like we're dancing and like tune to the music, just like be with us." And then I was like talking about, I forgot what I said, but I just know it was sad. Which I kind of missed that. I used to do sadder lyrics back then, but I kind of wanted to go towards more just uplifting, I guess. But with this song, I really want to pull up the lyrics because I love those lyrics. I just forgot what I wrote. Um, but overall, that was a really quick session too. Honestly, it took like 40 minutes maybe of just us writing and then recording it. And we had more ideas, but it ended up just being like the second half was mostly instrumental, which was totally fine. It was really cute. So I really just talk about like I forgot the lyrics were all out of my trust, all out of my slumber, you'd keep my lust under your treasures. Why do you expect the most out of me? It's just kind of like this. It was definitely not about anybody specifically, but just being in a situation where like someone has more control over you and you just kind of want to get out of it, but you still love them and you want to be there still. I did not keep the rest of the lyrics, but that I love that song. What anything Matthew does, he just started dropping his stuff. Actually, that single was supposed to lead towards his second project. It was a second part of the EP, where "Breathe" is gonna be on there. I'm on that song. Um, but that one was my favorite to make because it's been a while since I wrote and recorded music. So just doing it with him, and he's a really good friend. So it was a good experience. That's yeah, that's the last song.
I mean they're all really good songs. I think I think Juniper may be my favorite. Either Juniper or
Production
Beside
so
You.
good.
Beside You really did catch my ear because that's the one that you sent in. And that I really enjoyed it a lot. So it's kind of between those two. Those two are really good. Sway is also really good. I'm not. They're
It's
all
so
three of them
pretty.
are awesome, honestly. And then I wanted to ask, are is there another? I know you talked about wanting to do more R&B and Usher type of type of music, but is there any other type of genres you want to like dip your toes in or to like?
I'm really working towards putting more like actual rock into my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not just upbeat but just more like all in energy. Um, and that's currently the song I'm trying to work on right now. It's called Fumes. My cover art, I don't think I even have like any version of it. I can show you. Yeah. But it's really, I just want to have full like different vibes in this next project I'm working on, and that song I really want to be the most energy, the most like um expressive, because that's what this project is. It's all about talking to myself, or like being honest with myself, because a lot of us kind of don't do that, and I really don't do that. So I really want to do that musically, and just be more open to expressing myself online. The one thing I suck at is like social media. I love posting on Instagram. I'm good at that. I know what I'm doing. But like TikTok and Reels, I'm not touch. I need to touch that stuff because I haven't ever. Um, but um, mainly rock. I really want to get into that, and then I've dabbled into rapping, and it's kind of like only really situational, like Baby Blue, and I forgot what else I've done. But it's, I want to kind of get into it more, but every time I try to record it, I just sound corny. So I'm like, I'm not I'm not doing that. Um, but that reminds me of the when I was performing Baby Blue. Probably the thing that caught like surprised everyone was when I started rapping on stage. They're like, "Oh, what the heck? Like this is like a super smooth like romantic ass song, and now you're just like rapping towards it. Like, what is this?" That was really cool, and I want to get into that more, but I'm scared of like being corny.
I
Well, not
mean,
being corny, but it just sounds weird
trial and
sometimes. So
error. Hey, you never know what people like. It's very surprising. Do you ever think about your cover, like what your cover art's going to be before you make your music, or is it always like an after thing?
I think it's usually a during thing. I'm not gonna lie, um, unless like I haven't gotten to it yet, and we're doing it as the same during the same session where we're about to upload it. But um, it's usually like, do I have a picture? Like, because I take a lot of random pictures sometimes, or I just have a lot of old stuff. Like, do I have something that can match this vibe? Do I have anything I can, or like honestly, the opposite. If I'm looking through my images, I'm like, I need to make a song where I could use that as a cover art. Right now, I don't know if I can. Actually, I can't pull it up. Right now, with my next EP, I'm working on. It has that Dijon vibe, and it has like a more like, I want it to be a lot slower and a lot more personable. And if I can find it, there's this picture of it was like 2021 summer before I went out to college. Me and my church friends. It was like a whole like church like adventure place. We went out to like a huge Airbnb out in the middle of like nowhere pretty much. It was just a super cool experience. And we went on a walk at like 1 a.m. And I had like a Samsung or something at the time. So the camera's actually really good. But this photo that came out, it kind of became this like almost oil pastel type of art. There you go. That's kind of better. Where that's just my friend, and he's just like turning around, and honestly, it's kind of creepy, but it's really cool. And I'm like, I need to make music surrounding that, and I just finally decided to use it for this EP. Um, so hopefully that EP ended up coming out at some point. But um, I'm really excited to use that, and it's literally, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm just gonna leave it as a raw image. Like that's not edited at all, and I like doing that kind of stuff. But I also love putting different types of text and stuff. So it's a challenge.
For your new EP, what do you think the theme will be? Since I know you were talking about fumes as well.
So I already did kind of mention with like kind of self expression, self discovery, but a big thing I do want to talk about is well actually I talked about it too, where being honest with myself, and with that I want to like talk about family too. I haven't done that, and I think I already recorded a verse where I talk about my brother. Um, well, I just mentioned him at least because we're not that cool, so it sometimes it's kind of weird. But just family, talking about myself, and just like real life stuff. Yeah, I've sang about like love experiences in my life, but a lot of it, half the time, what I'm writing is like fake stuff to add to the real stuff, so it can sound better. And with this, I just want to be as real as possible, as personable as possible, and just make it feel like you're actually experiencing something in my life for that little bit, however long the EP is. And I want to express that in those different genres because everyone like likes different kinds of music, and that's what I like. Because certain albums that drop, some people like, you listen to it and you only find like one or two songs that you really like. And then I remember this one time, I forgot what album it was, but I told my friend like, "Oh, I really like this song," and he's like, "I knew you would like that one. Like, you love that kind of vibe." I'm like, "Okay." So like, I really want to cater to as many people as I can in different genres and talk about as much realness of me as possible, so it can be more unique than just like, "Oh, I love this girl. She's super pretty." Like, it gets repetitive, and I want to change that a little bit at least.
How does your family incorporate with your music? Like, how does like did
That was a good segue. So actually, when it came to me with the manager and me just overall going to performances and recording music, all that stuff, my parents are surprisingly super supportive of it. And it's honestly a really good push for it. It's really helpful for me to actually want to keep doing it. And without them, without my parents' support, I don't know if I'd be as good as I am because I wouldn't have like they bought me FL Studio. They've helped me get more of my own. Um, I forgot like my headphones and mic and stuff. And actually, we have this random stereo. I brought it out here. It's a stereo with two speakers from like also '97 or something that um, has like five CD changer, and I found out how to hook it up to my laptop. And it's honestly the best thing. And we just found it in my basement. I forgot my family used to like put dance CDs in there and just like for parties and stuff. Like without them, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near as progressed as I am. And then with my brothers, it's really funny because one's like 32 and the other one's just 4 years older than me, and I'm 20. And it's just they definitely don't listen to my type of stuff as much. Like my oldest brother, he loves bittersweet. He loves that kind of music, and he's just like, oh, I really like that song. But Baby Blue, like he played Baby Blue in the car with me and my other brother, and it was really uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie, especially like I think I say like "Let Me Feel Your Lips" or something, and it's just like,
mm-hmm.
damn, like I wish I never recorded that.
Instant regret?
Yeah, and so with my brothers, they're supportive. My oldest one, well, they're both supportive. They just don't really say anything about it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not gonna express my opinion on that, but it's
Unspoken.
cool that you're doing it. Yeah, um, and I mean it's cool. It's really good that they're supportive. And actually, there was one time me and my Julio, it was like his own thing, but we performed at my church. We like asked so we could borrow it, and it was like this whole thing where you could perform a ton of songs. And I opened, so I just sang a ton of like random covers, like Joji or Dijon or I forgot what else. And he started doing like Baby Keem and like Chief Keef, and my parents had to go because it was he was swearing so much in my church. It was crazy. Um, but they've always been supportive. They've always been great with it, and I already said I can't imagine without it.
Did their music shape like what you listen to, or are you guys like totally different? Like you guys always have had separate music tastes.
Um, my parents, well, my dad, he doesn't. He just listens to the radio. I don't know how he does that. It's just the radio, and then at home he doesn't listen to music. It's just like life. But at my mom, she loves blasting like Hispanic music or just anything from like the '80s. Um, so that's nice to hear. Like when she's cleaning, until like she tries to wake me up to help clean. Um, But besides that, I think where I got most of my inspiration of music, music taste, is my oldest brother. He'd always play, like Chingy.
Mm-mm.
"One Call Away" by Chingy is one of my favorite songs ever, and it's just like a random 2000s hit that was like that fell off. And that kind of music, like early 2000s R&B and rap, where it's just like a lot of kick. And it's just I love that type of stuff. Um, so him with that, he also got me into like Simple Plan, which like that kind of rock stuff, and with the whole indie stuff, I think I just kind of got into that by myself. Um, so we all have like different kinds of tastes, but I my parents like it when I play whatever I want on the car. So it's cool. My other brother actually he listens to a lot of rap, and I'm really into rap, but we have like completely different tastes in that, which is pretty interesting because we talk about music a lot, and it's so different. We have completely different tastes, but it's good that they each like implemented something into my taste where I could want to make music like that. And I've recorded covers of certain songs that my dad likes, especially like father son songs where it's like really emotional. And I really love doing that, even though I don't speak Spanish. They never taught me that, so it's super hard to record those. And I sometimes say stuff wrong, and they kind of like it, like how funny it is. Um, but it's just it's music is really strong in our family. It's just not. It's never been about creating it. It's just been about experiencing. And I didn't realize that for a while. So
That was really nice.
I did not. Yeah, that came out really well. Everything I just said, I don't know. That was really
Hmm.
good.
Well, the interview is coming to a close. Thank you for being on the podcast. It has been awesome. Tell the people where they can, find you.
Oh, okay. So on Spotify and everything, I'm just Aftertaste. And it's easier to find me if you look up a song. So I guess Malibu, pretty. Um, on Instagram, I'm Aftertaste, and that's pretty much it. I'm also on YouTube for Aftertaste. Just look up like Besides You, and you'll find the music video. Um, and then I'm also on Bandcamp, so check that out. In my, I don't know where I put that CD. I'm not gonna lie. I have another one. Um, oh, I found it, but I have the CD, whatever, available on Bandcamp in my link in my Instagram. I don't know. I don't plug usually, so this is pretty weird. But thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. Again, thank you for being on here and giving us the opportunity to interview you. This has been really awesome. Um, and thank you to the listeners for listening. And I will see you in the next podcast episode. Yeah.